Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now today we got an exclusive vid from our good friend of the show, good friend of mine as well. Chat to him on a regular now. He's doing some stuff for me as well. Patrick McElvery, and if you've been hanging around this channel, you'll have seen him around a few times because he's got a bunch of different projects going. He runs the Brutal Business Entertainment as well, which we have a bunch of their bands on the show and helping them, get spread the word and all of that stuff. But he's also in a bunch of bands himself, helping out in other bands. So he's doing vocals for me as well, which will come out soon later this year, hopefully. And this is a solo project he does with trap metal, but it's very, very heavy stuff. It's kind of very modern, got a big, loud, punchy mix. And it might, when you hear the words trap metal, probably a certain type of song or sound springs to mind. And I bet it isn't this sound because this is really quite different. So we're going to check out a track of his today. We're going to check out another track as well because his tracks are pretty short. And he made an exclusive submission. I said, look, 2 minutes isn't long enough for an exclusive submission. So give me another track so we can listen to a bit more as well. So we've got 2 tracks to check out. This first one, though, is brand new. And it's just coming out now. This one's called Crimson. And the production is by Death Dealer. I think I've got that right. Yeah, Death Dealer seems to be his producer for this kind of music, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's give it a spin. Vibration of the sound really rattles down your ears. There's a nice new metal edge because this dude loves his new metal. He's got a great new metal vocal as well. Man, look at that stereo. It's noisy. You never turn that one down. That was loud. And the way that these sounds vibrate down your ears, it really rattles your ears, you can feel it going into your brain. So yeah, great production, some great sounds, Every so often a sound's got a certain vibration and resonance where it just kind of vibrates your ears as well. So yeah, that was a brain rattler, that track. As I say, when you hear the words trap metal, you're probably expecting real ticky drums and rapping and all of that stuff. Well, that's not what this is. This is more kind of new metal trap, very industrial as well, and just loud and heavy and wide and just pumped up to the max. This, I had the volume on the same as I do all the other videos, and that really, really blew my ears. I'm actually going to turn it down just a little bit for the next track, because listening to it too much of that at that volume will give you tinnitus, and I'm actually starting to get tinnitus in the one ear. Too many going to gigs without ear protection on. Anyway, we've got another track from him as well, and this one's only 2 minutes as well. And because the last one was only 2.5 minutes, I said, well, if you're going to pay to get on the show, I want to give you as best we can and see how long we've been going. We've only been going 5 minutes, so yeah, I want to try and make these videos towards the 10-minute mark. So we're going to fill it out with another track. This one's called Beg. Again, the production's by Death Dealer. So this guy knows how to make a nice, loud, electronic. There's no guitars and all of that in this one, but it's still distorted, loud, deep, and heavy as you like. So let's spin this one as well. Atmosphere to this one. Cool. This one's quite different. Cool. I was expecting another track like we heard from the first one, but that wasn't. That was quite different. It had more of an atmosphere, not as bassy and booming and distorted. Well, it was distorted still, but not in the bass, So yeah, cool. It just shows you that there's more than one string to this kind of sound. It doesn't always have to be blazing loud and kind of big and distorted in the low end. It can still be kind of quite electronic. I think the music's very industrial. I mean, he calls it trap metal, but I'd say that in a big way this is industrial music. I'm getting flavors of kind of some old school Marilyn Manson, some Fear Factory vibes, some Training for Utopia when they did that electronically industrial album. There's some kind of what are they called? I forget the name of the band now. But anyway, it's got all of those industrial vibes to it as well, that come through in the electronicness of the sound, in the kind of just the tones of the synths and stuff like that. It's got that industrial vibe. So yeah, it's trap metal, but I'd say it's nu metal. It's industrial, and it's just kind of heavy electronic music as well. There's no guitars and stuff in this one, so it is all synth music, but it just shows you can still use the synths to get a big, fat, heavy sound just as good as any guitars and real instruments as well. So there you go. Very, very cool. The dude Death Dealer obviously knows what he's doing in terms of electronic sounds and heavy electronic sounds, and I know Patrick's great, and hopefully soon we'll have our track done together, because his vocals, that's his vocal that he does on his music. And I wrote a track and I thought, man, Patrick's vocal would just go great on this. So I sent it over to him. He's like, yeah, we'll get it done. It's taken a while, but he's been moving house and all sorts of stuff in the meantime. And the way that his vocal, he sent me a demo of what it's going to sound like. The way his vocal came out is exactly how I pictured it in my brain. When I wrote the song and I imagined what the vocal would be like, and I thought, man, Patrick would be great for this, because he'd do this and he'd do that. And he did this and he did that. just as I thought he would. So very, very cool. He's a great vocalist. So there you go. That's going to be our exclusive vid for today. A bit later on, I think we've got some progressive music coming up. Yeah. So watch out for that. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. Some a bit different for the show, but just as heavy as any of the other bands that we have on as well. Dope. See you around, guys. Bye.